Hello and welcome to What's Cooking with Careers. I'm Wetumene Shikare. Today we are visiting Women at Work, where we teach women new skills. Now before I get inside, I'll give you a little rundown of this show. Today we'll chat to the management here at Women at Work, Pat, and then we'll also get inside the kitchen to chat to Fortune. She is hosting some of her cooking class, or one of her cooking class, with the kids here during the school holidays, and we're excited to see what exactly she'll be making for us with her team. Stay tuned.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraita. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Alright guys, now I'm seated here with Pat. She is the manager here at Women at Work. Thank you so much for hosting us.
You're welcome.
Great stuff. So tell us a little bit about the organization and exactly when you began.
All right, my name is Pat Sivertsen. I am the manager of Women at Work. I've been involved with Women at Work for 10 years now. The organization started in April 2009. And what we do, we train young people who haven't been able to finish their schooling. We train them in cleaning and cooking, laundry and life skills. And when they finish the course, we help them to find employment as cleaners in the hospitality industry, things like that.
All right, so you just mentioned that you do help to develop the skills of women in Namibia. Why do you think that is important?
It's very important because many of our people have not been able to finish their schooling due to various reasons. And as you know, without a completed education, you cannot go further in life. And we've had many ladies that have not had grade 10. They've been to us, and then afterwards they've gone on to NAMCAL, finished their grade 10 and received a degree. So we actually had one lady yesterday who's just finishing her ECD training and will start next year at the university.
Nice. Okay, so how does that make you feel, seeing the progress of these women as they evolve and they transition to become professionals in various fields? How does that make you feel?
I love it. It makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah. All right. Some of the courses and services that you do offer at Women at Work, can you share?
So our main course is what we call the hospitality course. And then we also do a baker's course where I train them basic baking so that they can go back to their villages, areas and start their own bakery. Then we have dressmaking classes which are held on a Saturday where we train basic dressmaking, and then we also do pattern design. That's more aimed at the working woman. And then with Fortune now we've started classes during the holidays for children where she's teaching them to cook.
So I think that's a great environment to tie in the skills with the women as well as the cooking classes. What other inspiration do you get to continue, or motivation do you get to continue with this organization?
Well, seeing what the women do, and that is a great motivator. We also have a lot of support from our sponsors, and we're working on a project with various sponsors now where we're going to train ladies to preserve butternuts. So that's an interesting. Things are always changing. There's always new projects coming up.
to another exciting episode of Iran Work Talk.
Jou is die weer en vertel ook vir julle waar die vis julle moontlik gaan byt.
Welcome to Active Kids, a daily TV show that sparks creativity, learning, and fun for young minds. With exciting activities and lessons, Active Kids inspires curiosity and a love for learning.
New face to the 15.
The perfect mix of play and education. Don't miss out on the fun. Tune into Active Kids on NTV every weekday at 10 o'clock and let the adventure begin.
Speaking of projects, are there any that you've done so far concluded that you can share with us and, just dive into what exactly it was that you have done?
We did another preserving class that we worked with City of Windhoek. They brought ladies from the community and we taught them how to preserve all kinds of fruit and vegetables. And that was a very successful class.
All right. Success in our communities is quite important. Seeing that youth and the young people, as you mentioned, some of them might not have finished their grade 10 or grade 12 or whatever it may be. Success is quite important to notice. But have you seen some of the ladies that you've worked with also come up with their own skills that they have developed and brought to the organization?
Not to the organization as such, but they've taken it in their own communities and they've taken it further. We had one young man who started his own restaurant during COVID. He said, the people need food. And he started a restaurant. So that was a very good initiative on his part, and it's still doing well.
Running an organization such as this, what are some of the challenges that you might face or that you face, and how do you tackle them, to move forward?
One of our big challenges is always finding enough funding. It costs a lot of money to train people. So we have our regular sponsors who are very faithful and have been faithful over the years. And we are very grateful to those sponsors. But we're always looking for new sponsors. As you know, the price of goods is going up all the time, and the price of food, so we have to buy a fair amount of food for the cooking classes. So that's expensive. Other challenges are to find enough students to fill the classes. The students find it difficult. We ask them to pay $1,500 for their fees, and they find it difficult to pay that. But we found when they don't pay anything, they're not committed. They don't come, they don't study, so they need to pay something.
For their commitment. All right, before we leave your wonderful office, I'd like to know, are there any final words that you'd like to share with us here on What's Cooking? Seeing that we are now going to dive into the cooking class with Fortune.
Okay.
Any final words or invitation that you'd like to extend to our viewers?
Well, anybody who would like to do the course, you're always welcome. You can contact Joey at 081-825-2036. She's always available from 8 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon. The next class starts on the 10th of July. And yes, anybody that would like to sponsor a student, you're also welcome to contact us so that we can maybe lighten their load a little bit.
Okay. And where exactly are you situated in Windhoek?
We are in Schönlein Street in Windhoek West, and we're number 32.
Great stuff. Thank you so much. I'm going to head over to your kitchen and see what's happening there. Thank you.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
to another exciting episode of Top.
Hier is die weer en vertel ook vir julle waar die vis heel moontlik kan byt.
All right, now standing here with Fortune. Thank you so much for having me in your kitchen.
Thank you, too. Thank you for coming to see me.
So I'm so excited to see what you'll be up to today. But before we dive into all of that, I just want to get a brief background and an intro for our viewers to get to know who is Fortune really. So give us that intro.
Thank you. So my name is Fortune Kangueehi. Sure. I don't know. I never know which part of the story to start with, but I think for today I'll just start with my cooking journey. I've always been passionate about cooking. I've always been reading recipe books since I was a child. I was always the one to cook in my house growing up. And then in 2011, I actually took the bold step of entering MasterChef South Africa, where I made it to the top 18 out of 10,000 entries. And that's where my passion for cooking really took off. It was enhanced by traveling to countries like Italy, where I really learned a lot about food. And then I just continued like honing my skill. I was working full-time as a marketing manager up until last year in August. And then in August, I took the step to quit my job and do this full-time. And I opened my business called Cooking with Fortune.
All right. Before we jump into the business of Cooking with Fortune, I just want to know, how was that transition like, seeing that you're coming from a full-time job and now doing something that you're very passionate about in your own pace?
I mean, I can't lie, it was really a scary step. I thought long and hard. I actually wrote my resignation letter and it lived on my desktop for about 6 months.
Collecting dust.
Before I got the guts to actually submit it. I had to really let go of the fear of not earning a salary every month and not knowing, not having like a set amount of money to work with every month. But I knew what I wanted to do and I didn't want my God-given talent to go to waste. So that's how I resigned. The transition has been phenomenal. God has really blessed me. He has really been showing off since January this year. Of course, it's stressful because you never know when your income is coming, if it's coming, if you can cover all your expenses. But because I'm doing something that really makes me happy, and I pray all the time, I really can't complain.
All right. Now, Cooking with Fortune, why did you decide on venturing into this specific passion that you have, besides the love for it and what you can do for the community?
Yeah. So my thought process as a marketer, because that's what I do as a career, was what can I use my skill or talent for that solves the problem? So I didn't just want to cook food like for catering purposes. I don't want a restaurant ever. So I wanted to do something that solves a real problem. But I also wanted to do something that empowers people.
Welcome to Active Kids, a daily TV show that sparks creativity, learning, and fun for young minds. With exciting activities and lessons, Active Kids inspires curiosity and a love for learning.
New face to the 15.
The perfect mix of play and education. Don't miss out on the fun. Tune into Active Kids on NTV every weekday at 10 o'clock and let the adventure begin.
All right, so Cooking with Fortune, besides now diving into a passion that you're really into, what is it else that you can offer that, helped you to, identify this passion as one that you can use to make an income?
Yeah. So I wanted to do something with my cooking that helps people, that solves a problem, that empowers people. So my first idea was actually to train the domestic helpers because I wanted them to give them a skill that they can use outside of their work. So they can also do it on the weekend. A lot of the domestic helpers I've trained have actually started preparing food to sell over the weekend. So I really wanted to do something that empowers someone, even if they use it in their work, they can also put it on their CV for when they're looking for future work. And then the other part of my business is just training children, like today's class. I train adults. I have group adult classes. I do one-on-one classes at your home if you wanted a more private class. You can also be a group of 5 at your house where I come and we have like a cooking party type of thing. I do all kinds of training. Yeah, so that's my business.
Okay, so we just spoke earlier briefly about, transitioning and becoming an entrepreneur. What is your advice to someone that is upcoming and would like to, own their own thing and continue with it?
I mean, I think the biggest advice is to prepare. Once you've made the decision that you want to become an entrepreneur and you want to work for yourself, I really think it's important to plan. Give yourself a timeline, give yourself a cut-off date of when you want to take that step, and then save as much as you can. I know it's really difficult to save with the current economy, but try and at least be able to cover your expenses for 3 to 6 months when you start your business, so you don't have the additional stress of because it takes a while to set a business up and to get it running. So that would be my first advice. My second advice is just be fearless. Be fearless, and if you're a Christian like myself, pray, believe in yourself, be courageous. It is not for the faint-hearted.
Yes. Before we get into the class and see you in action, I'd just like to see or know what exactly would you guys be preparing for us today, and what do the dishes look like?
Also, today we're making 3 recipes. The first one is a Thai red chicken curry. It's a beautiful, rich curry with coconut cream and some curry paste, and it gets some vegetables like carrots and sugar snap peas, which makes it a little bit healthier than just rich. Okay. The second recipe we'll be doing is a creamy bacon and mushroom pasta. This is just comfort food, honestly. This is not for the summer body. This is for those cold winter nights when you just want to feel like somebody is hugging you. So that's the chicken bacon pasta. Then the last dish is a spicy onion and tomato chicken stew. This one is on the healthier side, so it will give you a hug, but it will keep your summer body.
Great dishes for the winter, I can say. But thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I'd like to see you in action. Let's get to that.
To another exciting episode of Top.
Is die weer en vertel ook vir julle waar die vis heel moontlik gaan byt.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraita. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Welcome to my class, guys. I'm super excited to have you and to teach you some of what I know. I'm going to just introduce myself and explain to you how I got to this point where I am now. So my name is Fortune, as most of you know. I started my cooking when I was very young, probably younger than you guys. I think I started cooking when I was like 10. I was always my father's favorite cook. My 2 sisters, I bless them, I love them very much, but you know, I cooked much better than them. My father actually preferred my food even above my mom's. And then in 2011, I entered MasterChef South Africa on a whim because I wasn't allowed to enter. It was a South African show, and I'm clearly not South African, but I entered anyway because I was very gutsy. And then they called me to the auditions, and I went. My boss at the time believed in me so much that she actually paid for my flight ticket to Cape Town. I went to audition in Cape Town. I was sitting in the queue, listening to the other people talk about their dishes, thinking, what in the hell was I thinking coming here? I had made a chicken liver parfait. Don't know if you guys know what that is. Do you guys know what smearwors is? It's basically a fancy smearwors, but like bougie. Smearwors on steroids. It's got like caramelized onion and whiskey and vibes. And we had to keep our dish at a very specific temperature. Your dish had to be 4 degrees. It was a cold dish. If you got to the start of the queue, they took the temperature of your dish. If it was even half a degree over 4, you're immediately disqualified. Fast forward, made it through. So there was over 10,000 people who auditioned in Cape Town, Durban, and Joburg. Came back home, they called me for the callback auditions, came back again, called me for the top 100, came back. We had many, many challenges, chopping challenges, egg whisking challenges, cooking challenges, made it to the top 50, came back again, made it to the top 25, then we had boot camp. Boot camp was brutal. I had a pressure test where we had to make cook sisters and cook sisters, and I forgot my baking powder in my cook sisters, and they sent me home. That's the MasterChef story. I've continued cooking ever since. My other career is that I'm a marketer. So I started in advertising, and then I went into marketing. I was a senior marketing manager at Standard Bank until August last year, after which I decided to follow my dream. So I took the very bold step, and I resigned my job, and I opened my business called Cooking with Fortune, and now this is what I do full time. So I think the moral of the story is you can always choose again. We are not trees, we do not have roots, we can always move. So at this age, you have an idea of what you want to become, but if that's not the thing that serves you and makes you happy, choose again. You can always choose again and go after what you want, go after what makes you happy.
It was a great time visiting Women at Work today and getting to see some of the projects and initiatives that they're all about. Now, if you'd like to register yourself or anybody that you do know, you know where to get them. We also got to see some of the great dishes that were prepared by Fortune and her team for today. That's it for today's episode. See you in the next one.